Hi, I've been a chef for 27 years, and I want to share with you why I think being a personal or private chef is as good as it gets right now for chefs. I'm Chef Jessica of Prosperous Personal Chefs, and like I said, I've been a chef for over 27 years. I've been in the industry longer than that, and I've had my personal chef business for 23 of those years, and full-time 21 of those years. So I feel like I have a good idea of the pros and cons of both. And I'd love to share that with you because I feel like some of you may be weighing the decision of whether to start your own business, and this may help. If you are an introvert or a parent, it especially aligns with your lifestyle. If you're not an introvert, it may take some getting used to because you are on your own all day, but you may prefer it even if you're not an introvert because you still have more time to have a social life. If you're a parent, you will like to know that a lot of your work can be done at home, and therefore you're able to kind of work around schedules a little bit easier than the corporate world. So in that respect, it really can reduce your stress level. And the stress level is very high these days for chefs and cooks and just everybody in the service industry. There's staffing shortages, there's supply issues, and a lot of times those things are out of our control. But as a personal or private chef, it's really just between you and your client, which is really great. And the stress is not as high, it's not as crisis level, and it's not as often as in the corporate world. So by reducing your stress level, your health is better, your mental health is better, your relationships are better. So I really feel that that is a huge plus. Another reason why being a personal or private chef I feel is so much better than the corporate world is the job market these days is out of control. And while chefs and cooks are not getting laid off as much, they are having more responsibilities and more pressure than they ever before. A lot of times they are asked to take on 2 or 3 different positions, and that can be so physically and mentally exhausting that on your days off, you really just don't want to do anything because you're so incredibly tired. And I know that some people may like the security of working for a company, but for me, I'm really big into manifestation and really creating my own destiny. So if that's something that interests you, if you're really into manifestation, you can get a better vibe, you can get a better outcome with manifestation by working for yourself. Because when you're working with other people, people's energy can really drain you. If you're an empath, and you have to have a work meeting or somebody has a very toxic energy, that really can bring you down and be harder to kind of create your own future. As a personal chef, really, you get to create your own future. You decide who you want to work with. You decide how you're going to find clients. And ultimately, you're creating your own life. So while some people may like the security, and I thought that would be fun for a while because, when I went to the corporate world, I thought, I just want to collect a paycheck for a while. I don't want to work for my income. And then I realized what a great blessing it is to be able to generate your own income because you are in control, you get to decide, and it's just so much more aligned with your lifestyle than when you're working for a corporation who makes every single decision of how much you're going to get paid, how much time you're going to get off, who you're going to work with, what your responsibilities are. I mean, there's really not a lot of wiggle room. So while the job market is not necessarily poor for chefs, it is changing, and creating your own job security is a really fun thing, and it's very empowering. Lastly, what I want to talk about is the elephant in the room, and that is the cost of living these days, which is out of control. So if you're working for an organization, you don't get to really claim anything as a deduction. And the expenses are a lot higher if you're leasing a car or you're driving or you're, getting food, any type of professional services. That is all out of, you don't necessarily get to deduct that as easily as you would if you are a business owner. And even if you do get to deduct those, a lot of times you're going to be paying a lot more in taxes. So your income as a personal chef is actually you get to leverage it more. So if you're making 100,000 for a corporation, a lot of times you may only see like 70,000 of that in your pocket. Whereas if you're making 100,000 as a personal private chef, you get to put more of that back into your business and really invest in yourself, invest in your family. And in the long run, it benefits you more. And I think as someone who has really seen both sides of the coin very well in that, that was something that I really missed when I worked for corporations, was really getting the benefit of the tax deduction of being self-employed or a business owner. So those are some thoughts for you of why I think being a personal or private chef is really as good as it gets. And I truly believe that. I believe that. And I have some more thoughts on why I think it's better than being a food truck operator, a caterer, a traveling chef, a corporate chef. There's so many reasons for me, but I will be doing future videos. If this is of interest to you or you have questions, please hit the like button. That really helps. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my website, chefjessica.com, and I have the 5 keys to starting and sustaining a successful personal chef business. It's really important to set your business up for long-term success and not rely on one-off clients. And as somebody who's been doing this for over 2 decades, I can help you do that. So reach out with your questions and be prosperous.